Up Late with Johnny Potenza is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Coming to you live from the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's Up Late with Johnny Potenza. Welcome the host of Up Late, Johnny Potenza.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. If this isn't the scene from Goodfellas meets The Godfather, I don't know what is. How's everybody doing? I'm Johnny Potenza, the host of the Up Late Show. Thank you all for coming. I see a lot of beautiful friends and beautiful people in the audience, and give yourselves a hand. Yeah. And it's only, what is it? It's 8:24, so don't fall asleep on me just yet. But you guys getting ready for the eclipse this Monday? You know you got to get sunglasses, right? You know where to get them? Yep. Where? The library. And I got them, too, in the back. $5 each. I robbed a whole box of them last week. Didn't even know. My first guest up tonight, he's been in the music business for many years. He's attributed to Frank Sinatra. So let's give him an Up Late welcome for Steve Maglio. I almost got it. I'll get it later. Listen, everybody shut up, all right?
Get it right.
I was hooked on phonics when I was in school. What do you want me to do?
Leave it in. I'll let you joke about it.
Okay, we'll leave it in. It's all good. Everybody's a wise guy. Anyway, we have two special guests tonight. Not one, but two. Our first guest, he made his first debut in 1993 on the hit show A Bronx Tale, and he came a long way ever since then. We got the one and only William Demeo. Yeah. Great guy. And my second special guest, he's known worldwide, all over the world. Anywhere he goes, people knows him. He's known as Salvatore Big Pussy from the hit TV show The Sopranos. What can I say? The one and only Vinnie Pastore. Yeah. I made him leave a message on my machine. I go, say your last name. He goes, Mag like magnificent, Leo like the lion. Mag Leo. Go figure. So I'm going to go sit behind the desk, talk a little, and then want to bring on the guests. How's that? Woo! Let's give it up for comedian Mike Keegan, right? Great job. Again, I got some news. I'd like to give you some news about the show. You know, I've been grinding this show since 2008, month after month, year after year, okay? So this year I decided it's been catching up to me because after COVID, we lost like a third of our staff who moved out of state, who got sick, who just didn't want to come back anymore. So it's been a little hard for us getting this show going. Like tonight, it's tough, but we make it happen. So I'm taking the time. I'm going to be doing every other month. I'm going to be doing a show. So it's like tonight, every other month. We got a great audience, got great guests. I've been writing the last year a documentary, and I'm producing it. It's about the making of a public access late night show. Okay, and Let me see what we got here. The doc is going to be a behind-the-scenes look on the history of the late night and up late show from the beginning to current, what it takes to get the show off the ground. The documentary will be narrated on an inside look from the producer of the making of the show, from the booking of the talent, the crew and the staff, past co-hosts, past guests, the editing, the directing, the producing, the coordination, public relations, key makeup artists, the photographers, food donators, etc. So, and there's going to be some dirt throw in there, okay? There's going to be bloopers, interviews, stories, quotes from past guests, and talent from the actors, comedians, the authors, radio personalities, bands, etc. So, and you'll also hear from our crew and staff. This is going to be like a couple-of-year project. And if we do get a finished product and it gets done, we're going to get into this, the film festivals and possibly the Amazon. But that's my project right now. It's giving me some more energy, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And I want to incorporate everybody that's been involved with the show on it. So without further ado, let's bring on our first guest, okay? He's attributed to Frank Sinatra. We have Italian-American singer Steve Maglio. Yeah.
Thank you. It's so nice. My name is Steve Maglio. I'm glad to be here on the Johnny Potenza show. And I'm glad everybody's here. I'm told there are a couple of Frank Sinatra fans, maybe one or two in the audience. So we're going to do some Sinatra for you. Fact is, though, Paul Anka wrote the song about Frank Sinatra's life. And the song has become as unique and as classic as that life was. Start the band. And now the end is here, so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and I saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. More, much more, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all and stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed, I've cried, had my fill, I've had my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all just a little bit amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, never in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has a not to say the things nails, and not the words of one who nails. The record shows I took all the blows and did it my way. My Thank you very much. Do we have time for one more? Got time for one more? Okay, we'll slip in one more. I heard before somebody say that this was the city that never sleeps. I don't know. I walk through Manhattan. I see people sleeping all over the place. But that's what they say anyway. How about we do a song about the city that never sleeps? Go ahead. We'll make believe we're at the Yankee game. There it is. Make it a little louder. Let them hear in the Bronx. And you may kick your feet if you would like to. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These are vagabond shoes. Floor shine, really, are melting away. And want to dance right around the heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep, and to find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'm gonna make myself a brand new start of it in all New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it where? Anywhere, it's up to you. New York, New wake up in this city that never sleeps, and to find I'm a number one, top of the list, capo di tutti capi, a number one. These are little town blues. They're all melting away. I am about to make a brand new start of it right here in old New York. And you better believe it, baby. If I can make it here, I'm gonna make it where? Anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York, New York. Thank you. Play ball. Thank you.
In every family, small conversations can make a big impact. I grew up on tour with my parents. Kind of different, but we bonded over music and we talked. Honest conversations, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic. Your honesty gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted in my own life.
And I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs, in whatever you do.
Talk, they hear you.
Steve, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, great to be here.
Good to see you. Thank you
Good
to
to see
come on.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
You sounded great. Sorry about the misunderstanding of the name. You know.
It's okay. It happens. It happens. But it's just great to be here.
It is what it is. You know, I was hooked on phonics, as I tell everybody, when I was a kid. It didn't do much.
I'm hooked on scotch, so it doesn't. I'm with you.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. So you were born in East Harlem, right?
Born right on Pleasant Avenue in East Harlem, 4 blocks from Rayo's restaurant.
And how was? And yeah, Rails was open forever. How was it back then?
It was nice. I mean, everybody knew each other. All the people in the neighborhood grew up with my parents, and everybody knew everybody.
And it was so exclusive then, or it just got exclusive years later?
No, that was years later. My oldest brother had to go to high school. He was going to go in the Bronx. So my mother said, kids got to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get the train and the bus. And I said, it's time for us to move out of the neighborhood. So we went up to the Bronx in 1966 it was.
So what did you start singing? What gave you the bug? Would you heard Frank Sinatra?
I heard Sinatra when I first moved up to the Bronx. And that gave me the bug as a kid. But then I never thought that I could be a singer. I was a waiter in the Palm Restaurant for a while. I had an aluminum morning company in New Jersey. And then one day I turned 35 years old, which was actually 30 years ago.
Jeez.
I turned 35 years old, and I said, if I never actually take lessons and try to sing, someday I'm going to be 80, and I'm going to kick myself that I didn't try. So I took lessons for 8 years, didn't tell anybody, not even my wife. And then one night I got up in a karaoke bar, and I didn't know it was a contest. I won first prize.
Wow.
And then a friend of mine introduced me to Joe Battaglia, who was a big band leader, and he had a 17-piece orchestra, and he heard me sing, and he hired me, and I made my professional debut at Tavern on the Green.
I heard about
with
that.
With a 17-piece orchestra.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really incredible.
What year was that?
2002.
Oh,
we
wow.
used to do Wednesday nights out in the garden at night.
That's
Tavern
nice.
On the Green. Beautiful, yeah. And then they heard about me, and they needed somebody. They were doing a show at the Carnegie Club, which is a cigar bar, one of the few places in New York where you could still smoke cigars and cigarettes indoors legally like a person.
I'm not going there.
And they had an 11-piece band there, and they needed somebody to fill in for their regular singer, so they called me in, and I've been there ever since. November is going to be 20 years that I'm there, every Saturday.
Beautiful. Yeah, come on.
Longest running nightclub show in New York City. Same songs, same jokes, every Saturday night for the past 20 years.
That's the Carnegie Club?
That's the Carnegie Club.
Where is it again?
West 56, right across from the back end of Carnegie Hall.
I remember Joe Franklin talking about that years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So talk about the Not Just Sinatra show. Talk about that.
Well, because I was at the Carnegie Club, and it's a cigar bar, a lot of people will come up to me and they say, I want to bring my mother, my father, my aunt, my uncle, but they can't be around the smoke. Or because it's the same show all the time, they say, when are you going to sing things other than Sinatra? Or go in a place where we could have dinner. So I started a show at the Cutting Room. It started last June. We do it once a month. It's called Not Just Sinatra.
Okay.
We have a 12-piece orchestra with a conductor. When was the last time you were in a nightclub, small nightclub, and saw a conductor with the band?
No, not
you
a
don't see that
long
anymore.
time. And when I was in Vegas a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you got to be in those kind of deals. You got to go to Lincoln Center, but a small nightclub, you don't see that. So we got a 12-piece orchestra with a conductor. We got a comedian opening the show. You sit at a table like a person. It's just like the old Copa days.
I love
everybody's having a great time.
I love that old school stuff, like
it
the
really
old
is
Rat
nice.
Pack stuff.
And I get to do. I'm doing the Sinatra stuff, but it's not just Sinatra. So I do Dean Martin. I do Nat Cole. We did last week. I did Danny Boy because it was St. Patrick's Day, so I did Danny Boy. We do Beatles. I did Elvis, Hard-Headed Woman. Somebody told me, you're going to sing Hard-Headed Woman, Elvis song? I did it. Everybody loved it. So I'm having a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I love Elvis. Elvis used to do a lot of stuff like that, like at the...
well, Elvis did My Way.
What was that?
He made it a big hit all over again.
What was that thing that he did like the 2 weeks or a month when he first came back in like 1970 or 71 in
Oh,
Vegas?
the thing with the leather suit?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was on television, yeah.
Richie Santa, what is that? What is that?
68 comeback.
There we go, 68 comeback.
Yeah, but what was it when they did that big box set? Was that 72 at the International Hotel? Right?
I don't know.
Wow, you don't know
He
that
had a
one.
residency at the International
It's
for a
the
while.
International Hotel. I remember that. 1972. It was like a International Hotel. You were there? Wow. Piece of nostalgia.
Did you get a scarf?
Did you kiss him?
No, I went to his penthouse.
Oh, don't tell us anymore. We'll get thrown off the air.
Was he in there?
He was sleeping. He wouldn't rest because I was pregnant.
Did you kiss him?
Wasn't Elvis, right?
Now, tell me the first time you and Vinnie Pastore have been friends for many years. When was the first time you met him? You have a nice story.
Vinny had a radio show I think it was in New Rochelle, and he had to take a little time off, and he had his friend, Louis Scoops.
Yeah, Louis Scoops.
And he was filling in, and Louis is a friend of mine.
Great guy.
He said, you want to be on the radio? So I said, yeah. So I went on and I did the radio show. A couple of months later, I was at an event on Mulberry Street, and I saw Vinnie there. So I said, I was on your show, but you weren't there. You know, Louis Scoops had me on. And he said, I got a new show now, the Wise Guy Show on Sirius Radio. He said, come on.
So you're going back?
So I went on, I went on the radio show with him, and we became friends there. And then when I became a member of the Friars Club, we used to see each other all the time. And that's how we really became.
Well, I wish I was able to go to the Friars Club.
I love the
Friars Club no more, right?
It's closed now. They're still trying to see if we can get it back open again. You know, we're trying. But it was a great time. I love the Friars Club.
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
great place.
Everybody was there.
Great place. Made a lot of good friends there.
Yeah, Joe Franklin used to tell me a lot of good stories about that place.
Yeah.
He used to fall asleep. He goes, yeah, I used to go in there, order a Coke and fall asleep.
Yeah.
So, okay, now, you were talking that you met William Demeo a long time ago, Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn, I gather?
We're making a movie, Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn, and I was in a scene with Willie and Tony Darrow.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, it's on, could I say my website?
Yeah.
StephenMaglio.com. There's an acting page, and the scene is up there. You can see it there. And I also did a scene with Chaz Palminteri in a picture called Once More with Feeling.
Yeah, Once More with Feelings.
That was supposed to be
Andrea, right?
Huh? Andrea Di Matteo was in
Yeah.
there too, but I didn't do the scene with her. I did the scene with Chaz. I was supposed to be an MC in a karaoke club, and he was coming in, and I called him up to sing a song. It was supposed to be Benny King's, but we actually filmed it up in Mohegan Sun.
So you live in New Jersey now?
Live in New Jersey, Hazlitt, New Jersey. I've been there 39 years.
Wow.
But I still feel at home when I go back to Pleasant Avenue. That's when it's a crazy thing. I moved
know,
out of there when I was 7 years old, but I still, when I'm there, I feel like I'm home. It's
when
amazing.
you go to Jersey's nice, it's very quiet, but there's nothing like getting back to the city. But then, you know what? You go back to Jersey, it's like kind of peaceful.
Well, you got to always find a place to park. That I like.
Yeah.
You always got a parking lot. There's always a place to park. But there's just something about the excitement of New York. That
Yeah, everybody's on the
can't get out
down
of
low
your
in
blood.
Jersey.
Yeah.
They mind their business.
Oh, yeah. When we first moved down there, we used to laugh. You get the local neighborhood paper, and it said, Mr. Jones left his garbage pail out last night. And that makes the paper. Instead of Mr. Jones got shot in the head walking home, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. But you can't get New York out of your blood. When people ask me, where do you live? I tell them New Jersey. But if they say, where are you from? I say New York.
Now, what about originals? You got any records out, recordings, or you always did covers?
I have 3 CDs out. One is called Songs for Sinatra Lovers. Another one is called You Belong to Me and Other Songs Sinatra Never Recorded.
All right.
And the third one is called Sinatra and Bossa Nova, which is
Okay.
all the big Sinatra hits done in Latin style.
So it's all covers.
All covered. Wherever I go, I got to keep the Sinatra name in there because nobody's going to come to see Stephen Maglio, like you say it.
Yeah.
They're going to come and see Sinatra. So they always have to have Sinatra's name in there so that they know what they're getting when they come.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, listen, just where's your what are your future shows coming up? Because that's your time.
No, we still got the Carnegie Club every Saturday night. And the Cutting Room is going to be April 17th. And then there's a whole bunch of Tuesdays coming up. It's going to be during the week. They're all on Tuesdays. So you go to the Facebook page. We got a dedicated Facebook page, not just Sinatra, and all the dates are there. Or you can go to StephenMaglio.com, and everything is there, too.
Yeah, and you got a lot of stuff. Once you get on his mailing list, you'll always get emails.
That's
and
it. You'll get them. He
playing.
gets them all the time.
Well, listen, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank
I
you,
hope
my
you
man.
come back next year.
I would love to.
All right,
Anytime.
everybody. Stevie Maglio.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Stephen Maglio at a theater near you. But for my very special guest tonight, before I bring him up, you've all heard of the hit show on Amazon Prime, Gravesend. I have a trailer before we bring on the guys, just to get you guys rolling. So control room, roll that trailer.
1, 2, come on!
Look at you, all the way from Brooklyn. Let's get down to business.
Why don't you come over for dinner one night?
Betty Z will never change.
Business is business, and there's a lot of money to be made. Guess who's back? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop.
You're back.
And we got the creator, the lead actor, the writer, the director, the head chef, the one and only William Demeo. And he's accompanied by one and only soprano, Big Pussy, Vinnie Pastore. What's up, guys?
How are you, buddy?
Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. You just look beautiful.
Thank you. You too, pal.
I tell you, it looks like life's agreeing with you.
Thank God.
So listen, I got to congratulate you on the success and the hype of this Gravesend too.
Thank you.
Lot of good things.
Yeah, thank you. you know, when you have people like Vincent Pastore in the show with us, guys like him, who I looked up to for so many years, and having a great cast with us, it really helps. So.
Well, that's everything that I was going to say. I enjoy season 2. But besides the storyline, the ensemble of actors that just stepped up out of anyone. If you don't mind, I read some of them off. Like you got Amanda Sante, Chaz Palminteri, Vinnie Pastore. You have Andrew Dice Clay, one of my friends, William Forsythe, Fran Drescher, Tony Darrow, Chris Tardio, Pete Gaudio, just to name a few. I mean, just watching these guys, it's great. And I'm sure you've known each other so long. How is it working with these guys? It's just like...
Well, you mentioned Pete Gaudio. He's in the audience right now.
Yeah, right. Pete Gaudio.
You know what it is? The reason why I'm very blessed is because the people that I'm working with, we're all like very close.
Yeah.
And we're having a lot of fun. And it's all about, you see, you're doing your show here. You've been doing this for a while, and you're still in the game. And you kept at it, and you keep at it. It was the same thing with, you know, my career and getting this project done was not easy independently. To pull off getting a series of this magnitude done was you know, very difficult. But when you have people like, you know, great people like Vinny and Tony Darrow and Peter Gaudio and like people you mentioned. I have a great producer, Michelle Francescos, who's also in the audience.
Michelle.
When you have great people around you, it really lifts you up. It really helps when you have a good team and you just stay focused and work and just don't give up. That's the whole thing. Like you're here right now, right? You keep going and you don't stop.
You know, the problem is I have a lot of fun with this. I get to meet a lot of great people. Then you said, like, Vinny, before you knew him, or whatever, I don't know how long you know him for, but we watched all these guys in all these movies. Like, I remember seeing Vinny in the Jerky Boys.
Yeah.
I love that movie because I was a big prank phone caller when I was younger. That was a great movie. But, like, Amanda Sante and William Forsythe alone, back to...
From Gotti.
Gotti, but when he did the Steven Seagal movie back in the day. And, you know, so you get all of these guys all in one room, and I'm sure that you know them, you learn from them, and it's just like everyone's teaching each other, and you learn from these guys, and it's like if you need help, they're there.
Well, the thing is that I always, like even, you know, when I worked on The Sopranos, I always, and the sets that I was on, like analyze that, and the movies that I worked on, I always would sit and watch everything. Like I wouldn't be, like every opportunity I got, I would be there and I would be focusing and learning. And that's when, you know if it's in your blood. I always tell people, because people say, you know, I want to be an actor, and I say, you know, what the test is that if you're an extra, if you start as an extra and you're sitting there waiting for 10, 12 hours and you finally get to go on and you don't complain about it, and you stick with it. The problem is that people don't realize what it entails and how much we go through. And that's the thing is that if it's in your blood, it's in your blood. Many people can't, you know, who wants to sit around and wait that long, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, and I always try to learn from these great people by watching them.
Yeah. Now, Vinny, what about you? How was it working with William and his directorial skills?
Well, Willie's like family with me.
Yeah.
And Willie came to me years ago, and we started working on projects. I don't even remember the first project we worked on together. I remember doing a lot of boxing stuff for you.
Back in the day.
A lot of different stuff, and with Paul Bughazi, and we worked and we connected. And it's like when Willie asked me to be on Gravesend, I said to him, I hope I'm not playing a rat. And he says, no. He said, you're going to play consigliere. I says, oh, really? So he bumped me up. Otherwise, I'd be a rat for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like when he brought you the script and you read it, you knew right away?
I knew right away what.
That you were going to do it. Like, I mean,
no, I didn't need a script to tell Willie I was going to do his project.
So you're one of those guys that said,
Yeah, I'll
Willie
do it.
said, I need you, I'm in.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That's great.
I'm not going to say, send me the script to Willie. No. It's like asking, he's my brother. No, I don't do that.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's good, right?
Yeah.
That means a lot.
And what he said about being a rat, Vinnie Pastore has been in so many movies, and he's the furthest thing from a rat.
Yeah.
He's been in so many movies. His Soprano run right after that, if you remember, right after he was the first one killed off, and he got all those parts.
I started doing
right
movies.
after that.
Yeah.
Mickey Blue Eyes and everything that he kept working and working and working.
And I didn't always play a wise guy. Deuces Wilder was a priest, maid, I was a limousine driver, but I turned out to be a wise guy.
You know what blew me away? That Vinny,
What?
the people don't know because he hasn't been on in a while, but I always see Vinny, that he was on a Broadway play, Bullets Over Broadway.
Yeah, Bullets Over Broadway. You came to see that Woody Allen's play.
That was great.
That was my second Broadway show. My first was Chicago with Aida Totoro.
Yes.
But working with Woody Allen on Bullets Over Broadway was amazing because Joe Vitarelli did the movie. And you had a connection with Joe. Yeah. It's like full circle. And then I worked with Joe and Servant Sarah in some movies. And all of a sudden, I get the part. It was either me or Tony Darrow. You know that?
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
And Tony, when he walked out, because this is Tony, he walked out from seeing Woody, he said, Vinny, you might as well go home. I said, okay. So anyway, working with Woody taught me a lot about theater because at the time I was working with Woody, I was also dealing with cancer. And I was going to radiology every morning and still doing a show. And a lot of nights I didn't want to go on stage. And
I didn't know that.
Susan said to me, the director, she said, you ain't quitting. And I wind up doing every show and not having my understudy go up. You know?
Yeah.
And some nights I was hurting. You know, they give you hormone shots and you're wearing this winter coat and you're sweating, I don't want to say, you're sweating bullets up there, you know? But Susan Stroman, she got me through it. And then the night of the premiere, I went up to Woody and we were taking pictures. I said to Woody, and I love Woody, I said, you know, I'm fighting cancer. He said, what kind? He said, prostate. He said, that's okay, you'll beat that. And he walked away.
He shot.
That's great. And then I just did a reading with him about 6 months ago for his new play, Brooklyn Fantasy. So I'm still in his life.
Well, good luck
I know a
with
lot
that.
of people don't like Woody Allen.
Yeah, listen, he has good movies. Who am I to say? Now, Willie, you have a big staff and a big crew on the production. So why don't you throw out some of the names that were really key players with making this happen with you?
As far as actors, or you're talking about
like Michelle and your
I mentioned Michelle.
producers, their roles, their parts, say.
Well, everyone. I mean, cinema photographer George Midas and Michelle, she's the engine.
She's your right hand, right?
She moves things like, really, and it was great for me to work with my son. You know, my son, I have to say, I told him that people are going to look to criticize you because your father, is the director. And I said, you're going to have to be extra good. And my hand to God, I'm in places and people come up to me and they'll say, the kid that played the nephew, he was so good. I go, that's my son. They didn't even know. Yeah. So I haven't gotten not one bad word on him. So he really stepped up to the plate. And for me, the biggest thrill was I did a scene with my son for the first time, like on screen together. And it was something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
He's a very good kid. Very respectful. You did a good job with him.
Thank you. And you know what it is that all these people that are in the crowd here, right? I can't say how blessed I am to have such great people that support me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they even really know. Like, because sometimes I get busy and I run into people, like, from my heart, how much it means to me to have people that support me and always are there. And it means a lot to me. And because we're in a business that is, filled with a lot of jealousy and a lot of people that don't want to see people succeed. So it's always great to know that there are a lot of good people in my corner. And for me, to make this show, it really was about us. It's really not about. It's about what we went through. Like everyone here pretty much grew up similar.
Yeah.
And you know, whether you were from Brooklyn or Staten Island or the Bronx, New Rochelle, we all grew up very similar. And I wanted to tell a story about how wonderful it was in that time period of the 80s and how great things were and how we communicated and it was so different than now and how it was just it was a magical time.
You'll never get that back. Just hanging out on the stoop to 12 o'clock at night, the fireworks. I mean, the same stuff that we all went through. My father used to buy us fireworks, the whole block shut off fire. Willie has a great 4th of July party at his house every year. I went a couple of times, forget about it. In the middle of the mountains, up okay, I said where it is? Up in the Poconos. They must shoot up, I can't even say, a lot of money, $15,000 to $25,000 worth of fireworks. He has a whole cleaning crew, and they shoot them off, gasoline everywhere. The neighbors are out, fire extinguishers outside. Everything goes off, and everything gets cleaned up within like an hour.
Yeah.
Everybody's barbecuing, but it's unbelievable.
It's nice to have that. It's like, you know, the way we grew up was very special. If you really look back at it, like, you know, we probably didn't realize that those days were going to go away because the world changed with the internet and cell phones. And, you know, sitting on the stoop and hanging out with your buddies and talking, I mean, that's how we did it. And that's why I want to continually tell the story. And that's why I get stopped so many times by people saying, you brought back memories that I love. And I'm going to continue to do that. And the show just keeps growing and growing and growing.
You know, with all these key players that you're getting in there, that everybody loves all those movies, they want to see all these guys. And you know, let me just say something first. I'm glad you guys actually didn't wear flip-flops for my sit-down interview today because...
I have sneakers, but I changed them.
I would have to tell you to go home.
Vic DiBattista. That's another one.
That was a scene in Willie's movie.
Right. Yeah, they had flip-flops on.
And I want to name other cast members. Gary Pastore, we all know him. Gary's great. And
Gary.
And Bruce Sosha, Armand, who's in the audience as well. We have a lot of you know, Paul Borghese.
Yeah, Paulie.
There's so many great people. Fran, to work with Fran Drescher. I'm going to tell you guys a story about Fran Drescher too. You know, Fran Drescher came to set hair and makeup ready. That does not exist. A woman never comes. It takes a woman hours to get them ready. Fran Drescher came to set, said, I'm ready. Call me when you need me. I'll be right there.
That's
done.
Right. She did her makeup at home?
Hair, makeup, and wardrobe. Done.
Tony Sirico used to do that. Tony Sirico used to come to the makeup drill, and he said, don't touch me. I already did my hair, and I already did my makeup.
Yeah. So to see a woman
do that,
you know, it was, and plus, you know, Sophia
Milos.
And
she's great though, Fran.
Oh, Fran is Fran. And
so how good is it? I mean, this is the fact that she's the president of the union and
awesome.
She's in your show.
I know. Yeah, it's nice.
You ain't never going to get in trouble with the union.
Yeah, that's one of my questions. Right. What was some of I know you went through some detours, filming, normal stuff. What was your biggest obstacle that you had to overcome to say if they stopped filming for, I don't know, the COVID thing or mask or anything that you had to do? What was the hardest thing?
COVID was a disaster. It was a complete disaster. It was, you know, all the tests that, you know, it brought our budget up. It brought our budget up what it would cost for a small, like some of these lower budget independent films to get done. Just our COVID fee was probably $100,000 just to pay, just COVID, because we had to have the test, and they kept charging us, and then SAG came down, and you know, I don't want to get into the whole COVID thing, but that's an obstacle.
Yeah, big time.
That was a big obstacle to shoot, and then sometimes people got COVID, and then we had to shut down, and then we had to, that was a big, and then the show comes out, season 2 comes out, and it's trending, and everybody's it's moving, and then we get on a strike, and they tell the actors they can't promote it. So it's a lot of stuff that goes on. Hopefully, going forward, we don't have to deal with things like this. We pray that we hopefully don't have to go through things like this.
I think things are starting to, you know, we just got to get the United States and New York City back in order with the politics.
Right. We got to keep filming in New York. I live up on City Island, and in the past 2 weeks, they shot Law and Order.
Okay.
And they shot The Equalizer in the past 2 weeks. They shot The Equalizer in front of my house. So I went out to in fact, the drivers are the same drivers from you.
Okay.
Because I was letting them use my bathroom, these guys, you know. I said, come on in. And they said, I said, you should bring more work to City Island. Forget about it's supposed to look like someplace else. Keep the work in New York.
100%, because
You
everybody's
gotta keep it in New York.
Yeah.
Well, right now, New York's tax credit is just enhanced. It's great, you know, and that's the thing. I wanted to shoot, and that's another thing. I love shooting in where I grew up.
Yeah.
And some of the, you know, all these restaurants and places like Spumoni Gardens and Brennan and Carr and all of these famous places, they open the doors up to us.
You're friends with you guys, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But, you know, that scene when the people were dancing in the street at the end of the show was for me, like, and the Frankie Valli song came on.
Yeah.
It was just so great to see all the neighbors and everyone. My mother was part of that, and everyone was dancing in the street. It was really great, and it brought me back to when I was a kid, and there would be block parties, and I would see everyone dancing in the streets, and it was so great. You know
what it is, as an editor and a film watcher, a movie score, besides a film or a TV show being great, good music, great music, hit music, Frankie Valli. When you got that music in there, it kind of pulls the whole movie and TV show together. Say like Scorsese, how he always has that music.
It started with Mean Streets.
Yeah.
It did. You know, and the reason why Marty used all those old songs is because you didn't have to pay a lot of rights for them.
The royalties back in the day.
Yeah, that's what he was smart. When you want to use a song, is it easier for you to get an oldie than to get something new?
Well,
I mean, I don't know if Taylor Swift is going to do a song for you.
The show's about the 80s, so all our
Oh,
music
you
is
got it.
80s or older.
Right.
But when you get songs from Neil Diamond and songs we had, like, they're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive. You can use those because you're going back.
No,
but
you
it's
can't.
I mean, if you got to pay.
You have to pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is that I'll give you so Frankie Valli likes the show. Frankie Valli was a fan of the show, so we met Frankie Valli, and Frankie Valli called up the record label and said, do right by this guy. And Frankie Valli's going to be in season 3, by the way.
Good.
Frankie Valli.
Yeah, he's great. No, I know. Just a film score alone with the mechanical licensing fees is crazy.
Well, when it came to that, I said we have a show that I felt came out so good. There was no way I wasn't gonna put great music in it.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack for season 3, like what we have planned in for season 3, is even, you know, we just keep enhancing and just keep moving.
I got one more question for you, and then we're gonna talk to Vinnie about a little what he's doing. And I was talking about it before. The last scene, you pick up your cousin from jail, Charlie, and that's played by Chris Tardio, great guy, and it leaves everybody hanging for more. So what do we got to expect for season 3?
Yeah, well, I'll disclose a couple actors. I can't really.
Yeah, a little taste.
I can't really say who some of them are, but Shaquille O'Neal, yeah, Shaq's like, and Shaq's the best, by the way. Shaquille O'Neal. I want to tell you about Shaquille O'Neal. Easter, I had a bunch of people at my house, and I text Shaq. I go, my nephew, he loves you. Well, a lot of people here, they love you. We all wish you a happy Easter. 5 minutes later, he FaceTimes me and says, I want to see him. And he goes to him, he says, and the kid was practically crying. Oh, wow. Shaquille O'Neal is a class act. When I tell you, we're so happy to have Shaq. When I tell you, he is one of the, he buys Walmarts out for people. He is such a great guy, and I had to stress that. But he'll be there. Frankie Valli, as I mentioned. There's a few other, like, you won't even believe, like, but I can't. And as far as the storyline goes, I really don't discuss the storyline.
I don't even know what's going on.
I'll just say this.
I know you don't got it.
But I'll just say this. You see how it ended with like 2 people on each side?
Yeah.
That goes to like
I can imagine.
Insanity.
Yeah, it's going to go
like. And I'll say another thing, is that if you watch season 2, it kicked in. It started, but it really kicked in a little bit later because I was developing all these new people. It starts right out of the gate, like it goes to the moon. The first scene, even it just goes.
I already see in my head a couple people are going to be getting whacked. So.
Well, that's the thing is that if you remember with The Sopranos, people always said who's getting whacked next. Everyone wanted to see who was getting whacked and when they were getting whacked and everything like that. But that's part of the life. But it's also about the story, like I said, and we really. I'm really blessed to be happy that we start shooting soon again, and I can't wait. It's going to be a long haul because it's going to be a lot of episodes, and it's like when you take on a TV series, you're talking about you're making 4 movies. You're making 4 movies literally, and you know how hard it is to make 1 movie. So we got our work cut out for us, but when I got guys like this,
you're going to do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna.
All right, Gravesend 3.
Thank you.
Now, Vinny, talk to me fast. You've been quite busy. You've always been busy. You got the Gangster Squad going on your band. How's that going on for you?
I'm on a little break right now. I'm tired of sitting there just shaking a tambourine. I'm trying to learn a couple of songs. Maybe Steve Maglio will teach me a couple of songs. No, my next show with the band, the Gangster Squad, Sea Grape up in Fairfield. Then I'm doing Daryl's house on the 13th.
That's a good place.
That's for my birthday. I'll be 78.
Mink.
And then thank you.
God bless.
And for the people down here, do the Wonder Bar on the 15th. That's a Monday night. So
another great place.
Down and maybe you could play the drums this time.
Of course. I played the drums with them in Wildwood.
He broke the drums.
Yeah,
He did. He broke the drums.
The drummer's like, he hit my drums too hard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a rock and roll.
No, Johnny, you could play drums.
Thank
It's
you.
my birthday. Stop.
Thank you, sir. Now, listen, there's a movie that came out last year called Spinning Gold. Did anybody see it? Vinny had a co-star part. Of it. Spinning Gold is about the rise of Casablanca Records from the 70s. The Neil Bogart story, who was the president. First band song was Kiss. Then as time went on, Donna Summer, the Village People. I mean, even though Village People made millions and millions of dollars off those 3 songs, but it's a great story. Vinny plays. What was your?
I played a wise guy.
Yeah. Well, let me see. What do you got here? You played Joey, Big Joey.
I played the guy keep loaning him money.
Yeah, Big Joey.
And he couldn't pay me back, so then he got his ass kicked. Excuse my friend.
Yeah, but that's a great story.
What happened with that is that. I related to the story, too, because I was running discos in the 70s before I became an actor. So Casablanca Records was the label for all you disco queens out there, Donna Summer and all that stuff. But I was spinning back there. So I knew the story, too.
You were in the Wu-Tang American Saga
we
as
started
Fat Larry.
Right around the corner, right over here. Wu-Tang.
Staten Island? Yeah, met the man and everybody.
RZA hired me.
And then what else you got? You got these new 2 independent films coming out. You have, what do you got?
Don Q.
Yeah, you got Don Q with Amanda Sante. And The Narrows. Danny Grimaldi's in there, right?
That's about it. A couple of horror movies. That's about it. I tell everybody right now, I'm going to be 78 years old, so don't kill me. I want to just work. I'm working with him. He's going to give me a lot of work. I can see it coming, And when you're an actor, you have to pick and choose. You can't say, I want to do all of that stuff, because you'll do 3 asshole jobs. Excuse my French.
Yeah.
3 bad jobs. So you focus on Gravesend. Do it right. Focus on whatever. That's what happened with Sopranos.
Yeah.
We all focused on those roles, and we didn't want to do nothing else.
Yeah, but that's his thing. I would just lock myself into that.
Yeah, that's it. Until he kills me.
Well, I gotta congratulate Willie, because he gave me an idea. But William started a Brooklyn brand clothesline a couple of years ago, and we were like, "What's he doing?" Now he's opening up clotheslines. All of a sudden, you see these things friggin' everywhere. I'm like, "What's going on here now?" I always say that. What's going on? Then he started coming out with all these different things, but he's doing very, very good with it.
And I got a shirt for you.
All right, look at this. Brooklyn brand, baby. Let me see. Extra large, right? Nice. Look at that. I dig it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I will wear this before I go on the air when I'm doing my thing.
Absolutely.
So listen, fellas, what's the next move for you besides everything that we were talking about? Any surprises?
Well, I want to speak, since you brought up Brooklyn brand.
Yeah.
The reason why I started the company was that I've always been, every time I would always see a Brooklyn shirt, I'd always want to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever I was, if I seen something that said Brooklyn, and as I started to get more well-known, people kept asking me, will you wear my shirt? Will you wear this? Will you wear that?
Yeah.
So I decided to do my own, and the reason I called it Brooklyn brand is because I felt like that the people that are from Brooklyn are the brand, like we're the brand.
Yeah.
It's not like it's, because, people are very proud from Brooklyn. And that's why, and, thank God this is really now, that's a whole other thing.
And you got it
that's
in the
about
movie, so people are buying it because they like the show and they want this piece of like nostalgia from it. I was born in Brooklyn, 72nd, 18th Avenue, but I grew up in Midwood, Gravesend. I mean, I was on Avenue SE 16. What do you consider that?
Avenue S and E16?
Yeah.
That's considered Gravesend.
Yeah.
That's like right on the tail.
Right from Kelly Park.
That's Gravesend. That's considered Gravesend.
So whoever knew, I always thought it was Midwood. That's what people told me. And then recently,
it's right off it's close to Midwood, but yeah.
Where the Avenue Theater was back then. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I'm a New show guy, man. Everybody, I moved to the Bronx when I was doing Gotti.
Yes.
Yeah, because I couldn't pay my rent in New Show. That's the story.
And Gotti was a great movie, right? You guys saw Gotti?
And then I got lucky with Gotti. I did.
Great with Gotti.
Yeah, and then I got lucky with Gotti. Because after Gotti, then I got Sopranos.
Yeah.
So.
Like, again, talking about Gotti, it was great seeing William and Amon together.
Doing the scene together.
Yeah, because they're so strong.
I know. They both are.
Yeah.
They're both great guys, too. They really are. And I'd like to bring, if we could bring... I'd like Pete to come up for a minute.
Yeah, bring on Pete Gordio. Come up.
You ready to go home? Sit here, sweetheart.
You're the best.
Mr. Gordio, what's up, pal? What's going on? How much time we got left in the control room? Could someone tell us?
You got 15 minutes for Peter.
Well, the thing, just bringing Peter up, me and Peter started off together in a Bronx Tale. Our first scenes were together. That's how we first
In the
met.
opening scene, you see these two guys when they were young. How old were you? In your early 20s, teens?
Really young. It was a long time ago, bro. And it was 32 years ago. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I know. But what I see is it's funny when we see each other when we're young.
And Pete's another one that whenever I'm out there and people bring up the guy that played Rocco, they always love him, and he's coming. When you know when he walks in the room, there's going to be trouble.
But if you don't know him, and you see this guy in the street, you're going to get scared. See, I know him, but he's a big pussy cat. But I still wouldn't mess with him. He's a strong guy. He's very healthy, into fitness. He eats good. What do you eat? Like 6, 7, 8 times a day?
No, about 7 times a day.
Yeah. And
It's a lifestyle.
And listen, that's good.
He didn't mic you up, man.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. I've been doing it since I'm a
There you
kid.
go.
And you have to stay marketable in this industry.
Listen, God bless
You're
you.
not going to get any work, and it's all about having a following and people looking forward to see you, and things like that.
And I was watching the Chaz interview with you, and he was saying about your tan. You're naturally like that, right?
Yeah, naturally dark. Yeah.
What Italian are you? Sicilian?
I'm Sicilian and
Napolitan. That's what I am.
Right.
But I'm not quite as a ghost out.
Well, it starts from the inside. It's all the food that's coming on the outside.
So what's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to going to production in June to work with these two amazing actors and friends.
Yeah.
And and this year is really going to skyrocket for each and every one of us.
Listen, God's on our side. Well, listen, guys, I wish nothing but the best for you, man. I thank you all so much, from the bottom of my heart, to come on. Vinnie came, before we go, it's been a while since the both of them has been on because our schedules haven't meet. But Vinnie, let me see, when he came on, right here.
20 years ago.
Yeah, well, not 20 years. Vinnie came on September 23rd, 2011, and William was, he was 2010, and you were 2011. Both September. 23 and then the other one 22. But it seems like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it goes to show with you, like I said, that you're still in the game and you're doing your thing. I was on a show with the other day on Newsmax with John Tobacco.
Johnny Tobacco, yeah.
And he started off on a public access show, and the guy's on Newsmax now with one of our highly rated shows. So, you know, you keep doing it, and hopefully you get, you know, the break that you really want. And how great was Steve Maglio today?
Yeah, Steve Maglio, awesome. And our warm-up comedian, Mike Keegan, right? I hope to have him back again. So everybody, the cast from Gravesend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Well, it's about that time of the night. We got to close the show and say goodbye. We'd like to thank all our sponsors. We'd like to thank Paulie from Nucci's Restaurant for all the food that you guys ate. Dennis from LaJoti's Bakery. Thank you guys so much. If you want to be a part of our studio audience, go into JohnnyPTV.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And that's it. So everybody get home safe. I'm Johnny Potenza. Good night.